Okay, it's time to make the meatballs, but first I start with a panade. And panade usually is for normal people that eat carbs, is a combination of cream or milk and bread. And this is my carnivore version. But I do add spices, so here goes. I just finished grating with the fine grater. Here over 5 ounces from the block of Parmesan cheese. Now it's time to add the Porking Good unseasoned pork rind crumbs. This would be the substitute for those of you that like bread and breadcrumbs. And usually if I add 5 ounces of the cheese, oh, there's the dinger for my cake. Usually if I add 5 ounces of cheese, I probably add 5 ounces of the pork rind crumbs to equal 10. Because I'm going to be putting a lot of meat in here. What are we at now? Oh, we're at 7 only. That was a big chunk. Almost there. 7, 7, 7, 8. And still one-handed. 7, 9, almost there. A little bit more, just a little bit. Good night, Lucille. Almost, guys. And if it's over, that'll be okay too. Should I have done this beforehand? Yes, I should have. 9.5, 9.7. And a skosh more to make it 10. Just a skosh. There she is. There it is, 10. I'll add about, we'll put it on the side so you can see it, about 3 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, maybe a little more. A grandma's hand of Italian seasoning. Now I don't put any onions in there. I'm not a fan of onion, but then too, I am not eating, so I am adding 1 tablespoon of onion powder. Again, just to give it the flavor. It's the Stone Mill onion powder from Aldi's. Mix that up real well. And I'll be back in a second. I've still left it on the scale. We really don't need to weigh the scale because I added just 5 large eggs. So that's why it equals that ounces. So to the eggs in the bowl, I will mix in 1 whole tube of the stir-in paste organic garlic from Aldi's, and I'll do that next and be right back with you. Here's another reason why I like using the silicone spoonula. I can cut open the garlic from Aldi's and dig right into the tube, scoop it completely out, and put you down a second, and then show you that yes, I am that cheap. My husband says she's that cheap. She scoops it right out of the tube. Yes, I do. There you go. Now let me mix that up for right now and be right back with you. So this is what the mixture looks like so far. Next to add in the red pepper, of course, because it's Italian. About a tablespoon, considering that I'll be using 6 pounds of meat. That's just enough spice. It's not spicy at all. And then, like everybody liked last year, my meatballs, This was my secret ingredient, the Pluck Original seasoning blend. It's delicious. I add that right to it. I'm generous with it because it's good and it's good for us. I would probably say that's about 1/8 of a cup. And now to moisture, we add the organic Horizon Organic Heavy Whipping Cream, and I get this from Costco, and the ingredients are only grade A organic cream and gellan gum, or gellan gum, however way you pronounce it. Add the cream there to make it nice, moist panade, but the trick to making meatballs is do not overmix. When the meat gets in there, do not overmix it. So that's what it looks like with the heavy whipping cream in there. And now I just leave it alone. There's the measurement. So it was about, 8-10 ounces of the heavy cream. Now I'll just leave it alone and let it rest for a little bit before adding the meat. And here's the meatballs before they go into the oven. I make meatballs larger than the average typical cocktail meatballs because, hey, I'm carnivore. It should be substantial. The trick to meatballs is do not manhandle them. Do not overmix. Ball them gingerly and slow cook them. Then I'll add the sauce on at the end, but I'll show you what they look like after they get out of the oven. This is the first pan of meatballs taken out of the oven. Boy, I wish that there was smell-o-vision. I am getting full just smelling all of these lovely Italian scents. It's wonderful. Look how greasy these are. Yikes. I mean, it's good and it's bad, but I snugged them up in the pan, sealed them very well so they kind of like steamed and cooked together. Now I have to put them into a container and put some more Primal Kitchen spaghetti, pasta, red sauce, whatever you want to call it, on top so that when we get to Kenosha, that can simmer on low in a crock pot. Delicious. Who makes meatballs that are tiny? Forget about it. You gotta make them substantial. You just have to. Yum. And now we sauce them up with the tomato basil sauce. Half the meatballs, half the jar of sauce. It's always better a couple days sitting and melding in their flavors. So delicious. People are just gonna love these. They're delicious. Here we go with the second pan of meatballs out of the oven. Ooh, hot. Wow, 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 wow. Yum. Yum, yum. I take them, tap them, release a little bit of the grease off of them. Tap, tap. Put them in the bucket with the other ones that are already sauced. So I'll finish this pan here. Tap, tap. Put them in there. And then they will be ready. The flavor is so good once they're sitting in the sauce. And they just get better. They truly do. Delish. Lucky folks eating these for Christmas. Okay, so if you look at the side, it is 4 liters worth of meatballs. Wait a second. Let's turn it back to the American. There we go. 4 quarts. Like I said, enough for a crock pot full of these delicious meatballs. Yum. It smells like I have been eating all day, but being in a fasted state, I have not. And it's as though I am eating when I'm not. There we go. That is a crock pot full of meatballs. The grandson, Nick, loves these. So there you go, Nick. Be prepared. I made these a little bit smaller than I did last year, Nick, but not teeny tiny cocktail bowls. So there we go. Christmas meatballs. It's an Italian Christmas in Kenosha. Buon appetito. Cheers.